Here we go. Hey, good evening, everybody. Well, good night, everybody. Depending on where you at, if you're on the East Coast or further, going back towards East. Hey, good morning. Good night, everybody here in the Central Standard Time. To the people out there in the Mountain and Pacific Time. Hey, y'all, what's going on? This your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Real briefly, y'all. Hey, I just want to let y'all know, man, things are looking up. God is good, but we are facing. Oh my God. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's going on, my boy? Hey, folk, what's going on? Watch. Hey, just here, man. I had a few minutes before I actually lay down and get ready for in the morning. But yeah, I just want to let everybody know, man, that there's some things happening upon this earth that really, man, they're gonna blow your mind, are being dictated by spiritual entities. We're seeing some things that we have never before seen, that has never before been seen in the history of mankind with these wars that we're fighting. This election has the potential to be something, man. These folks are literally playing around with martial law, uh, talk of martial law if Trump wins. If Harris wins, they're talking about rebellion. So what we're facing, man, is a situation where spiritual entities are literally influencing mankind into a direction that has the potential to fulfill a lot of prophecies throughout a lot of different scriptures in history. I'm rebranding this whole thing with the real news behind the news because I see what the Most High God has called me to do is to understand the truth as to what's going on here locally in Shreveport, Louisiana, um, state of Louisiana, statewide, nationally, here in America, but most importantly, what is going on overseas. Man, we here in America are living in a fantasy world. We're not realizing that 100 and something, 159 countries has just dropped your dollar last week with the BRICS coalition. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming few days because this thing has escalated to a point where is going to be this election is going to have so many different implications. Because let me ask you all a question. Now, I'm not going to sit up here. I'm gonna be neutral in my opinion about both candidates, the Democratic candidate and the Republican candidate, Harris and Trump. But wait a minute, there's still two more candidates, at least two more candidates that's running for this election next Tuesday. How come we never hear about them? Because of your media. So my job is to break down what the media is lying to you about. The only time I watch CNN, Fox, ABC, only time I watch mainstream media or read an article online from a famous Washington Post, or you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, the Boston Herald. Anytime I read something, and I read articles from all around the world, all day, every day, y'all, because we have to understand what's going on overseas affects us here in America. Hold on, we got Watson boy saying, "Hey man, and y'all gotta feel me, forgive me, man. I'm working with a bad tablet. I done broke my phone and then my son's phone. I'm gonna try to read you all's comment, but let me get through saying what I'm saying because I'm rambling on. We are witnessing something in the history of this planet that this generation here is the only one that's going to be able to fulfill or bring about the ancient prophecies from different and various religions. Now, I'm not getting off into no religion because y'all know I'm not a religious person. I'm very spiritual. I know that there's a God. and he's showing me to take this real news behind the news in a different direction. Whereas I'm putting, uh, I guess you could say, historical precedents in line with what you're seeing on the media and trying to explain to you all how we are going to be that generation to see mushroom clouds. Y'all may think that sound crazy, but didn't the United States drop that bomb on the Japanese? Even after the Japanese, believe it or not, Japanese had unofficially surrendered 2 weeks before America dropped the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Y'all gotta understand what really went on. Your government here in America was the only government that was psychotic enough, because there was 2 or 3 countries that were pursuing a nuclear weapon. America got his hands on it, and right at the end of World War II, when everybody else surrendered, guess who dropped a nuclear weapon? The only country to ever unleash a nuclear weapon in war is your country here, the United States. On the Japanese, who had surrendered unofficially. 2 weeks from that point when they unofficially surrendered, the Japanese was going to surrender in World War II. And the United States dropped that bomb and said, we don't give up. We don't give up. Basically, I'm going to have to stop cussing a little bit more too and all that. But yeah, the United States, the only country in modern history, or the history that we know, because y'all got to realize, we'll go deeper than this. The shit that I'm going to be talking about, you're going to have to understand the spiritual concept of the Most High, the Creator, what we call God. We're going to have to understand that there are multiple beings that came to this motherfucking earth, created this thing. Now they're controlling you through your media, and they're leading you to war that's going to produce another one of these nuclear motherfucking basically scenarios, just like I mentioned about Japan. So what we have to understand is that we're being deceived. Entertainment. Let's get my I'm not really versed in Latin, but I do understand entertainment. To enter your mind. Tame, to detain, to enter and detain meant your mind. The whole purpose of this thing, man, that I do is to show you the lies that you're seeing in the mainstream media, as opposed to what's really going on, because most of us in America do not look outside of CNN, ABC, Fox, MSNBC, Bloomberg. We look nothing. We never look outside of the propaganda, because we're not getting news in America, y'all. We're not getting news in America. We're getting propaganda. We're getting people telling you that it's cool to send Vladimir Zelensky another $400 million after he has already received over $200 billion. We have given Ukraine over $200 billion, y'all. Hold on a second. Let me put this information up. Hey, man, y'all, we got 3 people in here so far. I know nobody expected me to even do this. But yeah, hold on, let me do this. Put this up here. Make sure y'all hit that like. I gotta do the same. I mean, everything everybody will do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, man. Share. Most importantly, leave your comments. Make a comment as I'm going live. Your comments dictate the show, because I get to rambling on. But anyway, back to what I was saying. You have to realize, here in America, the greatest lesson that your government ever learned throughout World War I, World War II, the Civil War, was propaganda. They learned and perfected the art of propaganda, because you got to realize, after World War II, they brought all the propaganda artists and the scientists, everybody that was in Germany that were working with Hitler. Most of them came here. was given new names. A lot of them live in South America. But yeah, the greatest lesson they learned was propaganda. We do not get news. We get the dictate of what the military industrial complex, the pharmaceutical complex, the insurance complex. See, it's all about business. And I'm going to show you game. Look at your mainstream news. Anything that you look at mainstream, CNN, Fox, or whatever, the first commercial you see is what them selling you a drug. They got more side effects than the actual illness that you're dealing with. So you got to realize whoever pays these people that's sitting up there with these nice suits and ties and these pretty white girls and black ladies with nice perky breasts and, you know, just looking all scrumptious and just make a nigga. I mean, but anyway, that's all. Anyway. But these people are not paid to give you the news. They are paid to tell you a story, a narrative. Now, the real truth is that we're at war literally with Russia. Even though we are using the Ukraine, we are at war with Russia. I'm talking about literally shooting at Russia because we are the ones, you and I, in all our generosity as taxpayers here in America, are giving millions. We just gave Ukraine another 400 million. With the people up there that's still suffering from Helene and all these other places of Florida, where we just had three major, I'm talking about 100-year storms. We didn't have two of them just hit Florida, and then one of them hit Tennessee and up in that area, Kentucky. You gotta realize, man, you are not being told that Israel is basically cleansing Gaza and the West Bank of its natural inhabitants, basically ethnically cleansing those two areas where there's no longer going to be any Palestine. Where if Israel get what it wants, there will not be a Palestinian in that whole state. And in 70 years, Israel would have been eradicated almost literally the entire natural inhabitants. And we are being told that it's a war, the just war. Netanyahu needs to get the hostages back. How come them hostages not back? Y'all, they could have been negotiated that. All they had to do in the United States is stop telling Israel. Think about it. We sent Israel almost $5 billion just in the last year. We sent over $200 billion to the Ukraine. Literally $200 billion to Ukraine. Just gave them another $500 million this week. Now, last week, I don't know if y'all American taxpayers know that or not, but yeah, we just gave Ukraine another $500 million last week, which would make it almost 2.75 billion that we have given to Ukraine for what? Now we're giving Israel, which we already, believe it or not, you gotta go back and look at the history. I ain't gonna digress and go back right now, but you gotta look at. We give Israel 10 million a week to practice military tactics, because you gotta realize the Israelis were on the forefront of crowd control, oppression, and suppression techniques and making weapons. Yeah, Israel is very skilled at making weapons. The techniques that you see in Israel are the same techniques that they basically bring back to America and implement on us here in America, in particularly the Black communities. What group on this planet? What other group of people on this planet can identify with the Palestinians or the Black people? Black people or the Palestinians. We both can identify with each other. The black people and Palestinians, you got a lot of black so-called conscious people say that that struggle is not, no. Every conscious leader from Malcolm X or every conscious black leader understood the plight of the Palestinians since 1948. When you had a bunch of people in Europe, gave some people really that was from Russia who called themselves Jews, but are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan. They are Zionists. They're not Jews. They come from way over there in Kazakh. Most of them came from Poland and everywhere. These groups that's over there right now talking about they God chosen people, they came from somewhere else. And guess what? They didn't come voluntarily because everywhere that they have went, and this is not to be anti-Semitic, because when you talk about Semitic, you got to include black people. A lot of us who were taken from over Ethiopia and over there in the middle of the slave trade, a lot of us were the Semitic Jews. We were the ones who were sold into slavery outside the ones who were already here. That's a whole other story because there were black people here in America. We the one who showed the white folk how to get here. Anyway, that's a whole different story. But going back to this thing, man, these folks over there in Israel and between Israel and Ukraine, we have spent in the last 3 years over $3 trillion. And guess what? In the last 3 years, your military budget alone for the fiscal year was almost $1 trillion. So now that's almost $7 trillion we have spent on war. And I'm talking about weapons of war and actual war between Ukraine. We are fighting World War III right now. Y'all pay attention to what's going on, especially in Israel. The NATO and the United States could not get the war that they wanted with Russia and Ukraine because Russia, they handling their business. Unfortunately, Ukraine is getting devastated. The West is getting devastated because all these weapons that Ukraine has been using in the last 3 years has been coming out your pocket here in America. To the point we barely have enough weapons to defend ourselves right now here on the homeland, where they say we cannot be invaded. Bullshit. They got, man, the whole world got submarines. The rest of the world got ballistic missiles that we in the United States cannot even begin to shoot down. Look what happened Sunday when Israel attacked Iran again Sunday. The whole thing is, man, they're giving you propaganda. I'm putting all these things together so you can understand what goes on over across that water is implemented on you here in America. They say Trump talking about using the military against American citizens, which under posse comitatus, I forget what year that law it was called, posse comitatus. Y'all look that up. It is forbidden for the American military to be in any operation on American soil. You know why? They go back to your Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. So right to bear arms is not necessarily what we like to think, shooting a nigga that's trying to break into our house. You know what I'm saying? Or protecting yourself from a bunch of niggas that's at the store playing games. You just trying to get home to your family. You know, it's not for that. The Second Amendment was for you to have the right to protect yourself against this government or any tyrannical government. They go back to the American Revolution. We don't understand that here in America. That's really what your Second Amendment is about. It ain't about self-defense for you or hunting. It ain't about that. It is about the fact that as long as you got an armed citizenry here in America, no government, foreign or domestic, will be able to challenge it because everybody got guns. That's how they won the American Revolution, man. So, man, this thing gonna get so deep. I'm gonna show you how all that plays with the the concept that we talk about when we talk about God. When we call God's name, what do we call him at? In heaven. Where is heaven? Way up there. So how does things happen from up there to down here? Man, it's gonna get deep when I start talking about Genesis and breaking it down to you and giving you an understanding that something came out that sky. Remember Genesis chapter again. I just look at all scriptures. I'm really trying to study the Hindu thing because the Hindu thing to scripture like Maharabha and all that tells us a lot more. The there's a lot of the tablets of thoughts, man. I've been really, you know, while I've been going through what I've been going through, I've been really soaking it up. But I'm gonna tell you, man, whatever it is that's motivating men to go to nuclear war here on earth is not from man on earth. It is from spiritual entities manipulating mankind. Now, don't think I'm crazy because again, how you gonna talk about I'm crazy and you crazy when you pray to God? You praying to a being where? In heaven. Genesis chapter 6, first verse. And the sons of God looked down upon the daughters of men and saw that they were beautiful, and they left the heavens and went down to the earth. When God said in Genesis chapter of the first part of creation, he said, let us go down there. All this time, man, something has been coming back and forth out of these skies, which we call God, but I'm understanding that they are beings that are manipulating the people who are in power. They're manipulating the people who are in power because the people who are in power has all the information on what they got going on. These crashed, I mean, unidentified flying objects. If you want to say it like that, since I don't want to sound crazy, but the truth is, something big coming to the earth from the sky and manipulated mankind to the point we call them gods. So it's something. Think about it. We barely can go past the moon right now. We can send objects. Remember in the book of Genesis, Matthew, he say there will be signs and wonders. When in the 24th chapter of Matthew, Jesus was asked a question. He was coming out that temple, and they asked him a question. They were like, "Hey, cuz, look, Jesus, you saying all this stuff gonna happen? God gonna bring retribution upon me. When is gonna happen?" And the 24th chapter of Matthew was one of the greatest portions of scriptures. Out of all the scriptures I studied from different religions, it was one of the first things Jesus said, careful that nobody deceives you. For you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. And then he goes on to tell you, one of the main things he told us, when you have to hear all these wars, when you hear all this chaos, disobedient kids, when out of all this stuff, I think it was chapter 14, he said, well, no, I forget what chapter. I threw myself. But after he said all that, he said, but fear not, the end is not near. For you shall see signs and wonders in the heavens. Man, these folks right now, bro, are literally playing war games. Y'all realize when Israel attacked Iran Sunday, they used this is why Donald Trump started the Space Force. Because right now they're using weapons in outer space, bro, to control uh, radar here on Earth. They really right now, China and maybe one or two other countries have the ability to create an EMP from outer space and literally send America back in the Stone Age. China and all these other countries, Russia, Iran, even Yemen, these folks have hypersonic missiles, meaning that there's nothing we have here in America that can stop these missiles. Look what happened Sunday again when Israel attacked Iran. Most of us don't even know that Israel attacked Iran Sunday, just 3 days ago. Israel literally created an act of war against Iran Sunday. What are we talking about here in America? This election in football, basketball, everything that has nothing to do with the fact that 169 countries, again, I mentioned this earlier, the BRICS coalition, has come through and dropped your dollar. Meaning, this fiscal year, which starts next month, the fiscal year in America starts, I think, in October or November. There's no longer going to be oil revenue coming from all these other countries who had to pay for their oil under the petrodollar. There's no more of that money coming in. All that money, guess where it's going now? China, Russia, Brazil, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, uh, um, um, all these countries that's a part of the BRICS right now. Anyway, man, let me see. I lost track. I lost control of the time. The Black Knight satellite. Yeah, what's up, Watson boy? Man, I really wasn't planning on going. Hey, Miss Annie V, how you doing? Good to see you here too. Hey, I know y'all been two of the most faithful people here. A lot of people gonna watch this video, but again, one of the reasons why I don't be doing a lot because I really just don't have the fight in me no more to fight with YouTube. I just need to learn all their rules, then come back in a different manner. But like I'm coming back now, let me see the leave a comment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are. Uh, uh, the weather is not good, real. Good night. Good night, Miss Annie. A lot happening. It's getting even to that point of weather, man. I'm gonna show you something. These folks are manipulating the weather. See, now it gets to the point where they like, oh, here, 10-4. Now, y'all know I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just finally figured out which way God wants me to take the direction of this channel. Now, of course, that includes getting some better goddamn cameras because right now this camera here sucks ass. But I don't even have a phone. I'm using a broke tablet that I had to find the 3 days ago because I dropped my phone at the one job I just quit. I dropped my phone, come back to the house next day, get my son's phone, drop it. So I've been without a phone for about 2 weeks now. But anyway, we're gonna um we're gonna take this channel in a direction whereas I would be more concise and or just say precise in the information that I'm giving you and how it really affects you every day and spiritually because we are seeing the fulfillment of a lot of scriptures, you all. This shit gonna sound crazy until you all see the fact that as long as you watching this television, this news in America, you're not getting news. You're getting propaganda. They're prepping you for war on every level. They're prepping you for the next pandemic on every level. They're prepping you for civil war here in America right now if this election don't turn out the way certain candidates and their followers want it to. Everybody talk about January 6th. What you think gonna happen in this election here? If it don't go the way both groups really want it to go, they might have to declare martial law because this might be a civil war in this country. This is the point we're at in America. All the while. And watch to say keep going. Yeah, I'm keep going, man. I'm gonna go, because as long as y'all here, man, I'm good. I mean, it's just that my experience with this social media thing, my experience, most importantly, and you know me personally, pretty much how I've been an activist. I was an activist at one time. I'm not off into nothing right now. We're trying to raise my son, get him a home. Hopefully, y'all pray for us, man. God, we got all the paperwork together now. We got to go over here and get the electricity set up, but he and I should be in our home before Christmas. Y'all pray. Now we're going to be in our home before Christmas. But anyway, um, you know, I realize now though that there's a spiritual side of me. Like that night I got shot, man. All my life I have seen angels, bro. I have seen something spiritual. That night I got shot. When that angel hit that pistol, instead of blowing my brains out, it knocked this whole side of my face off. That bullet. It was like a 44 at close point blank range. You know what I'm saying? Knocked my face off. With that angel hit that pistol where it didn't come out the back of my head. I survived. I've always seen and talked to and walked with the Most High God, bro, my whole life. I have been so blessed where I've actually stood before kings and rulers. And I say that in a humble manner, but I mean, my political work around here, where I stood in front of your governors here in the state of Louisiana, your mayors here in the city of Shreveport, judges, lawyers. I mean, I stood before, you know, commissions on behalf of the people, and right now it's like there's a connection that nobody is getting. And that's the spiritual connection to everything that we're seeing here on this earth. And that's my job now to make those connections. Basically, to put all the different scriptures again. It's not just Christianity. I mean, I love my. I'm be real. I'm more uh, inclined to follow that belief in the Anunnaki because when you look at whatever happens, something had to come from that sky. And throughout the history of mankind, which predates that 6,000 years you Christians think. Now this shit been going, mankind been going for tens of thousands, maybe millions of years, because something came out of the sky and genetically put itself with the DNA of whatever that was here. Probably that monkey. When they mix that DNA, they say, let us make man in our image. I mean, this thing gonna get so deep, you gonna need a shovel to dig it. It's just gonna make your brain go pop. So y'all stay tuned. Oh, what you say? Yes, they are. The I can't because this tablet got a bunch of cracks in it. Anthony. Yes, they are burning. They are burning boxes. Well, we see that they burning some. Well, we see that some stuff caught on fire. They say it was early voting ballots. What it was, the state of Washington. Both sides, real. I'm gonna be real. Both sides are trying to steal the election. It's just the Democrats got a better chance because they control the media. The Democrats control 90%, literally, of the media. The so-called fact checkers. Who checking the fact checkers? The same people who tell you, you know what I'm saying, that there's only two candidates. That we got to choose the lesser of two evils. Well, ain't that still evil? We got to choose the lesser of two evils. We still choosing the devil. What about them other three? It's three more candidates really in this race. I know for a fact Jill Stein is one. Cornel West is on the ballot in some states. RFK Jr., even though he's endorsed Trump in certain states, he's still on the ballot. Why we got to choose between these two? One of them an old man. The other one is a young idiot. She ain't young. Kamala, damn near what? 60 something. Kamala lied and said she used to listen to Tupac when she was in college. This Tupac wasn't even born, but you were locking niggas up. Anyway, we're not gonna get off into to but let's just keep it real, y'all. Again, here in America, all right, let's come to America. Let's show you what kind of society we got here in America. And what Andrew say, answer. Hey, bro, let's play. Let's talk about Lil Dirt. Let's talk about all these niggas that's rapping right now. Got me and my son about to fight because I just had to tell him last night, son, I don't want to hear that shit. Everything these little cats listening to right now, cuz 6 people get unalive. They done had sex with 12 girls. They done smoked 12 motherfucking blunts. They done sold 32 ounces of motherfucking narcotics or illegal substance, all before 9 a.m. And then we supposed to care when these little Negroes kill each other or go to jail. Then Little Dirt had something to do with sending King Horn over there to check Quando Rondo that night. If y'all believe in that Illuminati, Boule and all that shit, that says a lot that King Horn wind up in the spot that he would die. I ain't gonna say that, y'all forgive me, YouTube. But yeah, he lost his life fucking around with some niggas from Louisiana, and guess what? All of them was in Atlanta. How did King Horn know to go there? Maybe somebody called him and told him to. Maybe it's that same dude that just got arrested. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Lil Dirt just got arrested, didn't he? Maybe y'all realize we have a generation. Again, going back to the propaganda. Black folk, we don't have no motherfucking heroes. We have people who are given to us images. Remember, man, I remember my old behind. I can remember when the first rap record was played nationwide. I can remember, man, I can go back and tell you my generation, those of us who were born in the 70s, uh, was probably the greatest generation because I've seen literally every technological advance, nigga, from the conversion of black and white TV to cell phone to nigga. I'm talking about, I mean, I've seen it all. The first of everything that was created in the last 40 years. My generation was blessed to see it. Now you got a younger generation who comes along, and my generation, those of us between, just say we're gonna say 45 and 65, my generation, we was the one that fucked these kids up, y'all. I'm gonna just take responsibility and call it like it is. Because half, like I say, my generation grew up on. I remember the first video game. It wasn't Atari. It was Pong. I remember Atari all the way up now to to PlayStation 5. I remember when I had to learn every number on that phone when I was calling somebody because I had to dial it. Literally. With that rotary dial phone, I done seen that to now, nigga, they got a watch. That's a phone. I done seen when you had to make a long distance call to your family from here to California or here to Omaha to Michigan or wherever we had to call. It was always a Sunday when the rates was cheaper, and we all had like 3.5 seconds to say something to our people that live. Now you can call Negroes, people all around the world, cause literally with a cell phone. You can call all over the planet with a cell phone, and guess where that comes from? Up there. The cell phone technology that we take pride in, these smartphones that are making us dumb, Little Dirt. Uh, it's a distraction. No, it ain't a distraction, brother Anthony. I'm gonna give you the truth. Little Dirt is part of the shit that's going on with Puffy. Um, you have had a culture, bro. So you gotta realize, we as black people in America, We're the only people since chattel slavery. We're the only group of people on this planet that does not have our original culture, our language, our heritage, our religion. Again, most of the people that was here, the black people that was here during slavery, was already here. They were called the Indians. Nigga, them Indians, most of them were black. You start getting the mix into you had the Spanish and all these other people. That's when they start losing the melanin in their skin, when they start mixing with them. Oh, but guess who showed the Spanish and all? Guess who showed the Vikings? Guess who showed everybody how to get to this side of the world? It was the Africans. So now we don't have a culture because they took everything, nigga. You couldn't read no more. You couldn't study the stars no more. All you could do is slop these hogs and work in these long ass, hot ass fields. We gonna delegate you to nothing more than our horses. You have no language no more. Guess what? Every other race and culture and people on this planet, no matter where they come from, they still got bedtime stories and recipes that they great grandmama gave to them. Our daughters barely can fucking microwave a boiled egg right now. Literally. I'm just being real. We have been systematically brainwashed through the entertainment. Again, remember I said earlier, to enter and detain one's mind. That's what entertainment do, and how they do it through programming, television and radio programming. I mean anything that goes over the airway, even your internet now, because we have thousands of TikTok sensations here in America. But the kids in China, where TikTok actually from, won't know it because guess what they see on TikTok over in China? They kids be learning how to build jet propulsion systems and shit. They kids be learning finite physics. They do not allow the shit that we see in America on TikTok in China, and TikTok is from China. Yeah, man. I mean, who Lil Dirt? Now there's no way Lil Dirt gonna walk. P Diddy, uh, P Diddy, uh, work, P Diddy night. All I know with Puff Daddy, P Diddy, is that when you fuck around with kids and old folks, when you have such a rotten and evil spirit that you would do some of the things that he's alleged to have done, guess what? You get what the fuck you get. P Diddy. I mean, I've always learned, and especially more so, I'm teaching my son every day now. When you do great things, honorable, noble, loyal, loving things, you get rewarded. When you do fuck shit, you get consequences and punishment. I mean, when nobody said this when he was having them freak parties, especially TD Jakes, allegedly, and allegedly Obama, allegedly a lot of the mayor of New York, alleged. Oh, no, he got arrested, didn't it? The mayor of New York, who gave P. Diddy the key to the city, just got arrested. Wait a minute, they had to take that key to the city that they just gave Little Dirt back. Really, we have no culture. Going back to what I was saying, they took our culture from us a long time ago and turned your rap music into a weapon. They had a three-pronged weapon. Y'all got to realize. And Joe Biden was a contributor to this with his crime bill. But at the time, rap music was really starting. It was thriving. The early 90s, that shit was all over the world, going all over the world. They put that gangster music out, y'all. You know why? Because at the same time, they put the gangster music in the record company, in the studio, on the airways. They put illegal drugs such as crack and all that shit in our neighborhood, and they went from public to private prisons. It was one of the coldest schemes ever in human history. We hear about it, but we never pay attention how real serious that was. Because you took the greatest generation of warriors in history. And during that 70s, 80s, 90s, they were so scared of the black male in America, that the black man who was born and raised in America. Fuck Africa and all that, because that's what they sent a plane over there and deal with them. But they were so afraid of the black male. They came up with a plan so diabolic. This is what we'll do. We'll teach them to sell this shit and kill each other. And once they sell it and kill each other, we'll arrest their ass and put them in these penitentiaries. How do we teach them to kill each other? Through this music. So now when you look at Little Dirt now, let me be real. When I have sympathy and all that, I don't really give a fuck about. The world is better off. I hate to say this, y'all. The world is better off without little niggas like that, bruh. The world is better off without the Little Dirks, the King Vaughns. I'm not saying that I wanted them to die, but guess what? Or go to jail, but guess what? Shit ain't my fault that they did or going to jail. But they are teaching our children this fucked up lifestyle. Literally, man. The best way to punish your child today, man, nigga, I'm talking about literally, is take everything away from him except 2 books. And both of them have to be read by the time you wake up in the morning for school and by the time I get home and you get ready to go to sleep. Yeah, that's how you take care of these children here. Because these little kids nowadays, man, they are indoctrinated, desensitized to the point we think they so smart, but you don't realize what you're doing today. And I'm gonna get ready to end it. You're giving your children a fucking robot. Why do you think they call it an Android? Why do you think the iPhone? Look, y'all seen that creepy stuff Elon Musk got with them robots? Everything y'all know is everything he did. He did from the robots. He got the Tesla car. He got even a Tesla van. Y'all look at everything he done. It's patterned off of iRobot. So we're giving our children and ourselves this device that we hold in our hand. And it has gotten to the point that it now thinks for us. Well, I'm drove because I lost my phone, man. And then at the same time, I had to leave one job and just started another one. I'm in between phone, but Jay Davis say, it's wrong. Hold on, let me flip this over, man. 'Cause I might see a little you all's comments a little bit better. Let's see if that shit will work. Please. All right. Yeah, I can see y'all's comments. Is it wrong for a woman to get an abortion when she also made a child? First and foremost, please, no offense to any women out there or anything. You all have the quote unquote quote right to choose. You have, your body, your choice. But you didn't say that when that pandemic was there, did you? You didn't have no choice, did you? But now let me tell you this. First and foremost, on the situation of abortion, I can't judge nobody, but God will. Let me ask you a question. How easier would it have been to simply get a motherfucking condom from Jump Street? So now that means you're so irresponsible that even if you were drunk coming from the club and you knew this was a pattern, you knew if you was a woman, you knew you was a borderline hoe. Well, really, you probably was a hoe. Because how you get pregnant, you had to be doing something to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? Now, you willing to spend all this money, this psychological trauma, and, in my opinion, take the life of a child that had nothing to do with your irresponsible ass decision not to buy a condom. So now, fuck that. I don't take them serious. It's a form of euthanasia, basically. It's a form of population control, basically. Because what group of women in America have the most abortions per year? By far. We outlead the next group. The black woman outlead the next group almost by half or three times for the nearest group, which be the little white girls. No, so if you was too irresponsible to buy a condom, maybe we need to abort you instead of them babies. Because then we wouldn't have to worry about, well, I ain't mean, what I'm saying? Yeah, you know how I meant that. Electronics are not good. If you feel like, I'm trying to read you all's comments. Hey, y'all share this video while y'all watching, man. We up to about 6. We've been going up and down. I know by in the morning we're gonna have a few more uh, views. Again, that's pretty good right now. We got 6 people watching. Hell, and I ain't did a video since, but I mean, I can't remember when I did a live video. But again, yeah, you get back to it now. If you too stupid that you can't buy a condom before you go in there and make some wild, passionate jungle love, you in there can't control your hormones. You having sex in the bathroom at the club. You full of them pills. You feeling good. You getting it handed to you in the back seat at the back of Popeyes. You couldn't think to get a condom before you did all that shit, and now you pregnant, and I'm supposed to give a fuck about your psychological state of mind when I'm more concerned about the child now who did not ask to be a part of your irresponsible indiscretions. Yeah. So now it did wrong, and it did wrong for the man too, because you got a lot of Negro be like, "Well, I'll pay for it in abortion." He's really the biggest idiot out of all. I went off on the lady, but the nigga, the man, he the dumbest one. You realize that there's herpes still out there? Y'all realize like there's syphilis? They got a strain of gonorrhea right now going around, and ooh, you get that shit. You might not see Thanksgiving. For real. This thing, do y'all realize we were so caught up into the pandemic, which we had to be according to what they tell us. The government, the FDA, all of them told us we had to be in the pandemic. But guess what? We forgot about STDs. And y'all, guess who's getting more STD than anybody right now? Old motherfuckers. People within their 40s and 50s. And I'm like, what our old man? It's real though. Anyway, that's a whole different story, y'all. But anyway, man, I'm gonna get ready to end this video, man. I had fun with y'all, man. I really got to do this shit at least once a day, man. Just have our little talks, real specific group here that everybody can understand what I was saying earlier. Even though I kind of seemed like I was rambling, but yeah, I'm gonna take this thing a different direction. I'm going to be speaking more and more on the scriptural. When I say scriptural, it means Bible, Quran, all the religious and ancient texts that teaches the history of humanity, mankind, how we come to understand God, and how we relate to Him, how we have related to Him throughout the history up until right now. I'm going to be focused more on that aspect of getting you all prepared for something. And I'm not going to be a sensationalist. I'll let, as the situations magnify themselves and intensify themselves, I'll let you all know. I'm not just going to start spurting off and saying some shit that 2 weeks from now, this is what's going to happen. Now, it's not going to be that thing, but I'm going to tell you, be watchful. You know what I'm saying? Be watchful. Remember when Jesus said, The end come like a thief in the night. You know why he really said that? Because nobody knows when the thief is gonna come. A thief can come in the daytime if you ain't you could be at work. You just ain't prepared. We're not prepared in this days and time in this generation. But anyway, man, y'all let me get ready to go. It's 12:05. I thank you all who all have joined this conversation, especially Miss Annie, Anthony, JD. I thank you all for really the the just the love y'all sit here to deal with my what I'm saying, my, I guess you could say, hyperactive mind, because I be wanting to focus on 1 or 2 subjects, but when you all start asking questions, look, we go for an hour. And it's all good information. But hey, look, I need y'all to share this video. Hit that like button for real, man. And again, evidently, you all have made sure that you all subscribe. Y'all stay tuned, because now these videos gonna come a little bit more and more frequently, at least once, I mean, twice a week, as far as conversations like this, plus the little videos that I upload. I haven't been able to upload those because, again, I haven't had a phone. I'm hoping to get one next week. I just started this new job, so I gotta go through a whole fucking pay cycle. And that's crazy. But again, hey, share these videos. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. Also, down there, if you're watching later on, man, hey, we can use your support. Because, like I say, the Negro need two, well, at least one phone right now. I need a phone. My son, he just had to wait at least another week and a half when I get back on my pay schedule. But down at the bottom, you all can support this channel. Show some love there. Shit. I mean, if you like what I'm saying and you understand, if you can, shit, just $2, $3 help us literally pay the to get another phone. But anyway, I thank y'all, Miss Annie, Anthony, JD, all those who have come and gone. So y'all see me again. Hey, y'all be blessed, man.